Chosen one. Stop for a moment. Heaven has paused your timeline so that you can hear this. You are not reading these words by accident. You are being summoned. Everything inside you has been restless because your spirit already knows something sacred is shifting. The atmosphere around you has been heavy, but it's not chaos. It's the sound of heaven rearranging your destiny. You feel it, don't you? That subtle pull in your chest, that holy unease. It is the whisper of the Almighty saying, prepare. Because November 1st is not just another date, it is a divine appointment. The last door is about to open. You've walked through many seasons before, some golden, some dark. You've been stretched, rejected, overlooked, and even forgotten. Yet through every hidden battle, you were being prepared. The enemy tried to convince you that you were abandoned. But heaven was silent only because it was building something within you. Every unanswered prayer was a chisel shaping the vessel that would carry glory. You have to understand the urgency of this hour. Heaven does not warn before every shift, but this time it has. You are hearing this because mercy is still extended. There is still time to position your heart, to lay down what cannot cross over, and to choose obedience before opportunity arrives. Listen carefully. The first door you walked through was salvation. The last door is transformation. Many are called, but few will hear this call in their spirit. You are one of the few. You are one of the marked. You've wondered why doors closed so abruptly, why people left without explanation, why peace was stolen just as you began to rebuild. It was not sabotage, it was separation. Heaven cannot allow certain weights to enter this next phase. You are stepping into a corridor of destiny so narrow that only purity and obedience can fit. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, for the vision is, yet for an appointed time, it speaks of the end, and will not prove false. Though it lingers, wait for it. It will come. Do you see it now? The delays were not denials, they were divine timing. The clock of heaven does not tick like the clocks of men. When God says, now, everything changes in an instant. November 1st will not just mark a date on a calendar, it will divide time for you. Before and after, hidden and revealed, preparation and manifestation. The heavens are aligning like they did before major breakthroughs in Scripture. The same God who parted seas, raised prophets, and crowned shepherds is about to shift your landscape overnight. You must prepare in silence. This is not a moment to announce, but a moment to align. God is searching hearts, not headlines. When the door opens, it will be for those who have been faithful in the unseen. This is also a warning. Chosen one, do not go back to what God has closed. The door you left behind is no longer your home. The friendships that drained your spirit, the environments that dimmed your fire, they cannot come with you. If you try to drag the old into the new will collapse under the weight of disobedience. Let go now. Heaven is writing a new chapter over your life. And it begins when you choose surrender over control. The door does not respond to striving, it opens to submission. This is why your strength failed, so that His strength could be revealed. You have felt forgotten, but in truth, you were being hidden. God hides what He values. A jewel is buried until its appointed unveiling. November 1st is that unveiling for you. The last door represents the final test of trust. Will you believe even when you cannot see? This is your moment of decision. If your heart is stirred, don't dismiss it. That trembling inside you is the Spirit confirming that this message is for you. You are the one heaven has been speaking about. You are the one whose timeline is being rewritten right now. So, hear this with authority. Stand tall. Lift your head. You are entering the season where divine promises will meet divine timing. The last door is not locked. It is waiting for your obedience to turn the handle. And when you cross it, everything, yes, everything changes. If this message resonates in your spirit, pause and seal this moment. Like this message, share it so others may awaken. And comment below the number 111, the prophetic sign that heaven's timing is at hand. Then, subscribe to stay aligned with the flow of revelation. This is not entertainment. This is preparation. You are not late. You are right on time. The countdown to your unveiling begins now. You feel the fire stirring stronger now. Chosen one. Something inside you burns with recognition. It is as though heaven itself is engraving a mark upon your soul, a seal that no darkness can counterfeit. You've always sensed that you were different, not out of pride, but because something ancient and divine runs through your spirit. You were marked long before the world ever named you. This mark is not visible to human eyes. It glows in the unseen realm, a radiant symbol that tells both angels and demons who you belong to. When you walk into a room, atmospheres shift, not because of your strength, but because the light within you cannot be ignored. You carry heaven's authority in your spirit, even when you feel weak in your flesh. There are those who misunderstood this light. They mocked you for your sensitivity, your depth, your refusal to conform. They called you too intense, too emotional, too spiritual. But what they never realized was that you were being refined, not rejected. The oil of anointing that flows over your life comes only through pressure, and you have endured much. You have walked through fire that others would have fled from, yet you did not burn. You were broken, but not destroyed. Each scar on your heart has become a testimony of survival, a mark of divine endurance. Heaven kept a record of every tear, every sigh, every silent prayer whispered in the dark when no one was watching. Now, heaven is revealing the truth. Those who carry the mark of the chosen will always feel misunderstood by those who do not. Your spirit recognizes warfare that others ignore. You sense danger before it arrives. And often, you carry burdens that are not your own. This is not a curse, it is an assignment. You are heaven's early warning system, sent to discern the shifting tides of the unseen world. Your difference is divine. Never again apologize for it. The mark that rests upon your life is evidence that you have been set apart. You were never meant to blend in. You were designed to stand out as a living reminder that light still conquers darkness. As the Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5, "Before I formed you, in the womb I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations." Do you feel the weight of that? You were known before you ever existed. Heaven did not decide your worth after your birth. It determined it before your first breath. The fingerprints of eternity were pressed into your being before time began. That is why your life has felt like a contradiction, both warfare and wonder. When you carry this mark, the enemy recognizes it too. He does not waste his time on the indifferent or the complacent. He attacks the called. The greater your destiny, the greater the resistance. Every storm that came against you was a backhanded confirmation of your calling. The devil does not chase what does not threaten him. Yet even through this, heaven protected your core. You might have lost people, opportunities, or seasons, but you never lost your anointing, that inner spark, that whisper that says, keep going, that unexplainable strength to rise again after every fall. That is the evidence that God's mark is still upon you. There will be times when you feel isolated because of this calling. Loneliness is the silent language of the chosen, but isolation is not abandonment, it is incubation. The mark must mature before it manifests. God separates before He elevates. The silence you've endured was heaven's workshop, shaping your identity. Chosen one, lift your gaze. The seal upon your life carries both promise and responsibility. You are not merely called to survive, you are called to illuminate. The world is growing darker, and heaven has hidden its brightest flames in human vessels, like you. The mark is your reminder that you are not an accident, but an answer. When November 1st arrives and the last door swings open, the mark will begin to glow brighter. People will not understand why favor follows you, but it will not be luck, it will be legacy. The light of God will distinguish you in every environment. Wherever you walk, divine recognition will precede you. Remember this truth: being chosen is costly, but it is also glorious. Every price you paid in secret will be honored in public. Every no you endured from people was making room for a yes from heaven. The mark of the chosen cannot be erased, replaced, or ignored. It is the eternal signature of God upon your destiny. You are sealed, anointed, and unstoppable. You have waited long. Chosen one. The waiting has not been empty, it has been sacred. In the silence between promise and fulfillment, heaven has been watching how you respond. Every time you wanted to quit, but chose to stay, you built unseen strength. Every tear you wiped in private watered the roots of your faith. You thought nothing was happening, but the soil of your soul was germinating miracles. The waiting was the furnace that burned away what could not last. You asked for promotion, but heaven was more interested in purification. Every delay was divine surgery, cutting away pride, fear, and self-reliance. You weren't being punished, you were being prepared. The process is painful, but purpose always demands pressure. Do you remember the nights when you questioned if God still saw you? When doors closed and people forgot your name? Heaven saw every moment. You were never out of His sight, only out of public view. The stage was being built, and the spotlight had to wait until the foundation could bear the weight of destiny. Chosen one. The waiting is almost over. November 1st is not just a date, it is heaven's signal that the time of unveiling is near. The final door stands ready, but God will not open it until your character matches your calling. You are closer than you think. Yet this last stretch requires unwavering trust. The enemy knows it too. That's why the attacks have intensified. You've felt the pressure rise, the confusion, the fatigue, the sense of divine distance. But these are not signs of abandonment. They are signs of arrival. When birth pains increase, it means delivery is close. The Word of God declares in the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 9, "Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." Do not give up. That is heaven's command to your weary heart. You may not see the harvest yet, but it's already growing beneath the surface. God is faithful to every promise He makes. The waiting season is proof that the reward is real. Think of how Joseph waited in prison before the palace, how David hid in caves before the crown, how Esther fasted before the throne. Every chosen one walks through the desert before destiny. You are walking a familiar path of the anointed, lonely, silent, misunderstood, but it is the path that leads to glory. There is divine purpose in every delay. You have been learning to depend on God instead of man, to find peace without applause, to hear the whisper of heaven when the world grows silent. This kind of maturity cannot be rushed. When you finally cross that last door, you will not just enter your promise, you will sustain it. Right now, you are standing between what was and what will be. The old chapter has closed, but the new one has not yet begun. This in-between space is sacred. It's where transformation happens. Heaven is adjusting your frequency so that you can hear instructions clearly. You may have noticed that certain people have fallen away recently. Don't chase them. Their season in your story has ended. The pruning was painful, but necessary. God removes what cannot grow with you. Let gratitude replace grief. The waiting teaches patience, but it also reveals identity. You are not waiting for something, you are becoming someone. The version of you that will walk through the last door is not the same one who began this journey. You've grown. You've healed. You've surrendered. Heaven is proud of how you've endured. Chosen one. Your faith is your fragrance. Heaven recognizes it instantly. When you continue to believe despite the silence, the angels move at your perseverance. Every "still I trust you" whispered in the dark becomes a shout in heaven's courts. Do not let impatience steal your miracle. The final test is often the quietest one, when it feels like nothing is changing. Heaven is measuring your endurance. Stand firm. Even if you stand alone, the finish line is closer than it appears. Now pause, breathe, and declare this truth over yourself. I am still chosen, even in the waiting. That confession itself weakens every plan of darkness, because when you choose faith over frustration, you align with heaven's timing. And as a prophetic act of agreement, write these words below: I still trust. And write it not as routine, but as resistance. Every time you type it, you are making a declaration in the spirit realm that you refuse to bow to despair. You are saying, even if the door hasn't opened yet, I will stand until it does. Heaven takes note of every word. Your patience is worship. Your endurance is a weapon. Your faith, even tired and trembling, is enough to move mountains. The waiting is almost over. Chosen one. The harvest is already on its way. You can sense it now. Everything around you is shifting. What once felt random is beginning to align. The chaos that used to confuse you is now revealing its pattern. Heaven has been quietly arranging circumstances like pieces on a divine chessboard, preparing the board for one final move. November 1st is not merely a moment in time, it is a convergence of heaven and earth. Chosen one. You are standing in the center of a divine alignment. The realms are meeting, and what was invisible will soon become visible. Angels are taking positions. Doors are unlocking, and promises that once seemed distant are drawing near. Nothing in your life has been wasted. Every wrong turn was rerouted into purpose. Every loss was an exchange for wisdom. You have felt the tension, the tug between what you know and what you cannot explain. That's because the spiritual and natural are merging. The unseen is pressing against the seen. The dreams that used to feel like imagination are actually invitations. God is calling you to step into a reality where faith becomes sight. In the stillness of this alignment, heaven whispers, "Do not rush this moment. The temptation to move too quickly is great. But divin, ordre, require patience." God is positioning every element with precision so that when the door opens, it opens effortlessly. You will not need to force what is already aligned. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 9, "In their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." And those words carry more truth than you realize. You have made plans, dreamed dreams, and mapped out your path. But it was God who determined the direction. Every detour you resisted was actually divine protection, steering you toward fulfillment. You did not miss your moment. You were being guided to the right one. Look back for a moment. Remember the relationships that ended abruptly, the opportunities that slipped through your hands, the seasons that felt wasted. Each one was an alignment. Heaven had to close certain doors so that the right ones could open. If you had received what you wanted too soon, it would have crushed you. Timing is mercy in disguise. Now, as the clock of heaven moves toward November 1st, the pieces are finally locking into place. You might not see the full picture, but trust that it is forming. God's alignments are rarely comfortable, but they are always perfect. The delay was not denial, it was design. You are not the same person who started this journey. The old fears no longer fit. The old habits no longer satisfy. And the old doubts no longer define you. That's because alignment requires transformation. Heaven could not place you in the next dimension while you were still carrying the weight of the previous one. Chosen one. This alignment will not only change your external world, it will recalibrate your inner world. Your thoughts, emotions, and spirit are being tuned to heaven's frequency. That's why familiar things suddenly feel foreign. You are no longer resonating with what is temporary. Your spirit is responding to eternity. In this sacred season, God is aligning everything around His purpose for you. The people meant to walk with you will find their way to your side. The resources you need will flow effortlessly. What once took struggle will now come by divine ease. When heaven aligns, resistance loses power. Yet be aware, alignment also exposes what is false. Anything or anyone not assigned to your next level will begin to fall away. Do not chase what leaves. Let the shaking happen. It is proof that the unseen order is at work. When heaven aligns, pretendas fall, and truth stands. Soon you will look back and realize how precise this moment was. Every step, every setback, every season of silence, it was all a divine pattern, forming the perfect path to your destiny. You were never wandering, you were being woven. The final alignment of heaven and earth is not just about circumstances, it's about you becoming synchronized with divine rhythm. When your heart beats in time with God's will, you will walk in supernatural flow. What once required striving will unfold through surrender. So breathe. Chosen one, do not fear the shifting ground beneath you. What feels unstable is simply heaven rearranging the pieces. The same hand that aligned the stars is aligning your steps. You are not lost. You are perfectly positioned. The alignment is the signal before the opening. When everything is finally in place, the last door will appear, and you will know it's time. You will not have to ask for confirmation. Your spirit will recognize it. Heaven and earth will agree, and all creation will witness the moment you step into your promised reality. Stay still. Stay faithful. The alignment is almost complete. The shaking has begun. Chosen one, you can feel it in your spirit, the trembling of everything that once felt secure. It is not destruction, it is divine rearrangement. Heaven is shaking what can be shaken, so that what is unshakable may remain. This is the final cleansing before the door opens. Do not fear the movement around you. The foundations are not breaking beneath you, they are being rebuilt for you. The earthquake in your life is not meant to bury you, but to reveal the treasure hidden underneath. Sometimes God must collapse what you built on your own, so that He can replace it with what He designed. You've been asking, why does everything feel unstable? It's because heaven is sweeping your path clean. The shaking is heaven's broom, removing dust from destiny. The people who walked away, the plans that fell apart, the sudden turns of life, they are not random. You are being untied from what cannot follow you through the last door. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Ah, that is the anchor in the storm. When everything shakes, hold to that promise. The same God who started this work in you will see it through. He will not let the storm consume you. He will use it to strengthen you. Imagine for a moment a seed buried deep beneath the earth. The ground above it begins to tremble, shift, and crack open to the seed. It feels like destruction, but in truth, it is birth. The pressure, the darkness, the shaking, all of it is necessary for the sprout to break through. You, too, are breaking through. The shaking is not the end. It's the beginning of emergence. This is where your faith becomes art. The canvas of your life has been stretched tight, and heaven's brush is painting purpose over every scar. Each stroke is intentional. Every loss becomes texture. Every tear becomes color. When God is finished, your story will not be a tragedy, but a masterpiece. And now, chosen one, let me speak to your heart, not as a prophet calling from afar, but as a brother or sister walking beside you. These messages, these words that find you right when your spirit needs them most, are not crafted for noise. They are poured out like oil, meant to heal, to remind you that you are not alone. If this oil has touched your soul, if you have found yourself comforted or strengthened through these messages, then consider becoming part of the pouring. When you like, when you share, when you subscribe, you are not feeding an algorithm, you are fueling a movement. You are extending the light so that another weary heart may find hope before it's too late. And if your spirit leads you to sow into this well, to donate, to give, to sustain the voice that heaven is using, know that your seed is not financial only, it is spiritual. You are planting into fertile soil that has watered many who had none left to drink. Every act of support is a form of worship, an echo of gratitude to the God who still speaks through human words. Think of it like a lantern in the night. Each gift, each act of sharing, Each subscription is another flame added to the collective fire. One lantern may seem small, but together they light entire cities of souls. You are not just a listener, you are a torchbearer. There are hearts right now searching through the dark, scrolling endlessly, ready to give up. But your simple act, your like, your share, your gift can be the whisper that tells them, hold on, you are chosen too. No, every kingdom work has its altar, and this message is no different. If it has spoken to you, let your response be your worship. You can help carry this light further, ensuring that heaven's voice continues to reach those standing at the edge of surrender. But remember, your value here is not measured by what you give, but by your willingness to carry the flame forward. The greatest offering you can give is your obedience to live these truths, to speak them, to become the message itself. The shaking is proof that something greater is on its way. As everything trembles, hold fast to the promise. You are being rebuilt, not ruined. What feels like collapse is preparation for resurrection. So stand firm, breathe deep, and let your heart echo this truth. I will not be moved. For though the ground beneath you shifts, the hand of God remains steady. The shaking is not the end of your story. It is the sound of heaven rebuilding your foundation for glory. The air feels different now, doesn't it? Chosen one, it's as if heaven itself is holding its breath. The noise of the world grows distant, and in that holy stillness, something begins to appear before you, a vision, faint yet powerful. It's not a doorway made by human hands. It's a gate of light rising in the unseen realm. The last door, the one heaven spoke of, the one your spirit has been waiting for. You do not stumble upon this door by coincidence. It only appears when the appointed time has come and the vessel is ready. This is why the waiting, the warfare, the silence had to happen first. You are standing before a threshold that cannot be opened by talent, status, or strength. It opens only to those whose hearts have been refined in the fire of surrender. Chosen one. The last door is more than a passage. It is a revelation. When you cross it, the veil between potential and purpose will fall away. You will see clearly what heaven saw in you all along. You will no longer wonder why you had to endure so much. The answers will unfold as light itself pours through that opening. But before you step through, heaven whispers again, be still. This door is sacred. It listens to your motives. It measures your heart. And it tests your alignment. To those who seek glory for themselves, it remains closed. To those who seek the glory of God, it swings wide with power. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 7, ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened to you. There it is, the ancient code of the kingdom. Ask, seek, knock. You have been asking, you have been seeking, and now the time to knock has come. Heaven has already positioned angels at the hinges. When faith meets obedience, the door will yield to your touch. You may not see a literal door before you, but your spirit does. It manifests through opportunities, revelations, divine encounters, and unexpected alignments. The door is not only spiritual, it is practical. It may come as a new calling, a shift in purpose, or the moment when your voice begins to carry the weight of heaven itself. But take heed, the door opens only once. It is not a revolving gate. When the moment comes, hesitation will cost you inheritance. You cannot afford to look back now. You must walk forward. Even if your knees tremble, faith will steady you where logic fails you. Imagine this door as a radiant portal, glowing like gold, refined by fire. Behind it lies not only blessing but responsibility. Every chosen one who crosses it becomes a carrier of light, a torch in the hands of heaven. You will be trusted with influence, with revelation, with authority, but only if you remain humble. The last door does not elevate pride, it exposes it. It does not crown the ambitious, it crowns the obedient. So before you reach for the handle, whisper to heaven, "Not my will, but yours be done." That simple prayer unlocks what striving never could. When you step through, everything changes. What was blocked will flow. What was delayed will manifest. The dreams that once felt impossible will breathe again. This door is not about escape, it's about expansion. God is not removing you from the world, He is positioning you to impact it. Chosen one. This is the moment to seal your faith with action. Heaven watches how you respond to revelation. And so, as a prophetic act, I invite you now to type below the number 444, the number of divine establishment and angelic presence. This is not superstition, it is symbolism. Every number carries a frequency, and this one declares alignment. When you write it, you are declaring in faith, I am ready for the last door. I am aligned with heaven's timing. You are signaling that your spirit agrees with what heaven has already decreed. As you, though, know that angels are moving, the hinges of destiny are shifting. The door that has waited for years to open is responding to your obedience. You are no longer standing before possibility, you are standing before fulfillment. When the door opens, step through without fear. Leave the old weight behind. Let your heart be light and your gaze fixed on the light itself. The last door is not the end, it is the beginning of everything you were born for. Chosen one. Heaven is watching now. The silence you feel is not absence, it is observation. The Father leans close, measuring not your words, but your obedience. You stand before the test that defines all others, the test of the willing heart. This test does not arrive with thunder or spectacle, it comes quietly, disguised as choice. It meets you in moments when no one is looking, in how you respond to offense, in what you do with little things, in whether you obey the whisper when no one applauds. The test of obedience is not about performance, it is about alignment. Heaven is asking, can I trust you with more? You have already proven your endurance through waiting. You have endured shaking, isolation, and spiritual warfare. But now, the question changes. It is no longer, can you survive the wilderness? It becomes, can you obey without understanding? This is where true maturity begins. You may not realize it, but every act of obedience echoes in the unseen. When you say yes to heaven, entire chains break elsewhere. Your obedience shifts atmospheres. The kingdom of darkness trembles when a chosen one simply obeys, because obedience is not weakness, it is warfare. You are being asked to surrender control in this hour, not because God wants to take something from you, but because He wants to replace it with something far greater. What you release in faith will return multiplied in glory. Heaven cannot fill hands that refuse to let go. as the prophet Samuel once said to the stubborn heart of Saul, recorded in the first book of Samuel, chapter 15, verse 22, "To obey is better than sacrifice, and to heed is better than the fat of rams." That ancient truth still resounds across the ages. God values obedience more than offering, humility more than spectacle, faithfulness more than fame. The altar he desires is not built from gold, it is built from surrender. Chosen one. This test will often come through people. There will be moments when God uses disappointment, betrayal, or silence to reveal the state of your heart. How you respond determines your readiness. Will you hold on to bitterness, or will you choose forgiveness? Will you defend yourself, or will you let God vindicate you? Heaven's promotion does not come through applause. It comes through passing hidden tests. The higher the call, the deeper the refining. You have prayed for breakthrough, but breakthrough begins with obedience. Before God opens a public door, He checks if your private posture is right. There are assignments waiting for your yes. You may not know their names yet. A nation, a soul, a generation, but heaven does. Your single act of obedience may awaken destinies beyond your imagination. The ripple effect of one yes can change eternity. The test will not be easy. You may be asked to leave comfort for calling, to release relationships that no longer align with purpose, to trust directions that make no sense to your human mind. But remember, obedience rarely feels logical, it feels holy. Sometimes God will tell you to step forward when everything inside you wants to hide. Other times, He will tell you to stay still when your flesh wants to run. Both are obedience. Both require faith. If your obedience costs nothing, it transforms nothing. You are being invited into costly obedience, the kind that rewrites destinies and rebuilds worlds, the kind that mirrors Christ, who obeyed unto death and was crowned with glory. Do not let fear whisper lies into your soul. The enemy will always try to convince you that surrender means loss. But in truth, surrender is how heaven multiplies. What you lay down today becomes the foundation of what God raises tomorrow. In this season, your obedience is your key. The last door you saw is locked to disobedience, but opens instantly to submission. You don't need to push it open with force. You only need to place your yes upon it. When heaven hears that sound, it moves. Remember how Abraham obeyed, even when asked to surrender his promise. Remember how Moses obeyed when told to speak to a sea. Remember how Peter obeyed when called to step onto water. Obedience always defies reason, but it always releases revelation. Chosen one. The test before you is not about perfection, it's about trust. Heaven is not asking for flawless action, but for surrendered intention. Every time you whisper, "Yes, Lord," you prove that your faith is alive. Soon, this test will pass, and when it does, you will find yourself lighter, freer, more aligned with divine rhythm. Your obedience today becomes the authority you carry tomorrow. So take heart. The test is not punishment, it's promotion in disguise. Heaven is not trying to break you, it's trying to prove you ready. When you choose obedience in secret, heaven crowns you in the open. Stand steady. Chosen one. The test of obedience is your final refinement before the door opens wide. The night grows quiet now. Chosen one. The stars seem nearer, as though heaven has leaned down to listen. You have passed through storms and silence, through shaking and surrender. And now you find yourself in the deep stillness before dawn. It is here, in this midnight hour of the soul, that heaven's voice becomes clearest. This is not the silence of abandonment, it is the silence before revelation. You have cried, "God, speak," and perhaps wondered why he did not respond as before. But the truth is, he has been speaking all along. Not through thunder this time, but through peace. The absence of noise is not a void, it is the stage where his whisper echoes loudest. When you can no longer hear him in words, you begin to hear him in stillness. The way the air feels heavier before breakthrough, the way your spirit trembles without reason, the way memories resurface with divine purpose. These are the languages of heaven that the world cannot translate. Chosen one, your midnight hour is not the end, it is the sacred turning point. The voice that comes in this hour is never loud, it comes gentle, patient, steady, yet it carries the weight of eternity. This is the voice that called prophets from sleep, that comforted the exiled, that spoke to the trembling hearts of kings. Do not despise this quiet, for in the quiet, God rebuilds your inner world. Every word you hear now will become a seed that shapes your future. Heaven speaks in whispers because the whisper demands intimacy. You cannot hear a whisper from afar. You must draw close. There is beauty in this kind of nearness. The world cannot understand why you withdraw, why you seek silence, why you no longer find pleasure in noise. But your spirit knows. You are tuning your ear to divine frequency. You are listening not for comfort, but for command. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, 2nd book, chapter 12, verse 9, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." These words arrive like light breaking into darkness. When your strength fails, grace steps in. When your voice trembles, heaven's voice becomes louder. The midnight hour is where power and weakness meet and fuse into destiny. You have mistaken weakness for failure, but heaven calls it readiness. The strongest vessels are those that have cracked enough to let light through. The moments when you feel you cannot go on are the very moments heaven can finally move without resistance. In your loneliness, heaven is forming deeper intimacy. In your silence, God is planting new revelation. The tears that fall onto your pillow tonight are not wasted. They are baptizing you into new strength. You are being rewired, remade, and reborn in the midnight of your calling. This is the part few talk about, the quiet hours when even your prayers feel heavy. But heaven treasures this part most, because this is where you choose faith without feelings. This is where your relationship with God grows roots deep enough to survive every future storm. When dawn finally breaks, you will not just emerge with answers, you will emerge transformed. The voice you hear tonight will become the authority you speak with tomorrow. That still, small whisper will echo as thunder through your future. Remember Elijah on the mountain. The wind came, but God was not in the wind. The earthquake came, but he was not in the shaking. The fire came, but he was not in the blaze. Then came the whisper, and in that whisper, the prophet found everything he had been searching for. So it is with you, chosen one. The voice you wait for is not far. It has been beside you all along, speaking between heartbeats, between sikhs, between your words and your tears. You don't have to search outward anymore. Heaven has already made its home within you. Do not rush this hour. Do not demand fireworks when heaven is offering oil. The greatest revelations arrive softly, like dawn brushing against the horizon. Listen carefully. What you hear now will guide you when the door opens. The night is not punishment, it is preparation. You are being taught how to hear beyond noise, how to move by spirit and not by sight. The midnight voice is shaping you into someone who will no longer need confirmation. You will carry conviction. And when morning comes, you will rise not just with new strength, but with new sight. For the same whisper that comforts you in the dark will command mountains to move in the light. Be still. The midnight voice is speaking. Chosen one. The air feels heavy again, not with fear, but with awareness. You have stepped beyond the silence of the midnight hour. But now you face a different battlefield. The war has shifted locations. It is no longer fought in circumstances around you, but in the space within you. This is the war for your mind. The greatest conflict you will ever face will not be fought with swords or storms. It will be fought in thought. The enemy cannot destroy your destiny, so he targets your focus. If he can invade your thoughts, he can delay your purpose. That is why your mind has felt like a whirlwind lately, why anxiety whispers when you try to rest, why doubts rise just as you begin to believe again. You are not going crazy. Chosen one, you are under attack because you are on the verge of clarity. The closer you get to the door, the louder the noise becomes. Darkness is desperate to distract you before you see what heaven is revealing. Your mind is sacred territory. It is the battlefield where heaven and hell both seek to plant their seeds. One voice says, "You can't." The other says, "You will." The one you water becomes the one that grows. You must choose which words will reign in your mind. As the Apostle Paul wrote in his letter to the Romans, chapter 12, verse 2, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Transformation begins in thought. If you change how you think, you change how you live. The enemy knows this. That's why he builds his attacks out of whispers. He doesn't need chains. He uses suggestions. You're not enough. You missed your moment. No one sees you. These are not thoughts, they are arrows. But heaven has given you armor. The word is your shield. Truth is your weapon. And peace is your defense. Every time you replace fear with faith, you win a battle in the unseen. Every time you choose gratitude instead of bitterness, you drive darkness out of your atmosphere. Chosen one, you must become the gatekeeper of your mind. Every lie that enters must be confronted. Every fear must be dragged into the light and measured against the truth of who you are. You are not a victim of your thoughts, you are the steward of them. Heaven has given you authority to decide what grows inside you. Your mind is a garden, and every thought is a seed. If you keep planting words of despair, you'll harvest exhaustion. But if you plant words of faith, you'll harvest miracles. Protect that soil. Water it with worship. Guard it with gratitude. And watch what begins to bloom. It will take discipline. Yes. But remember, you are not alone. Heaven stands beside you as you reclaim your peace. Angels move at the sound of your worship. God Himself renews your strength every time you resist despair. You are not losing, you are learning how to fight differently. Some of the thoughts that have haunted you are not yours. They are echoes from an enemy desperate to confuse you. When you feel that sudden wave of hopelessness or unworthiness, pause and declare the truth aloud. This is not my thought, because it isn't. The enemy plants lies to make you forget who you are. Heaven whispers truth to remind you who you were created to be. You are a fortress, not a battlefield. Your mind was not made for chaos, it was made for communion. The more you focus on divine truth, the quieter the noise becomes. Every time you meditate on the promises of God, you reclaim ground. Chosen one, it's time to take your mind back. You have carried the noise of others for too long. You have allowed guilt, fear, and shame to sit at a table they were never invited to. Tell them the feast is over. Your thoughts belong to the one who called you by name. Now, seal this revelation with a declaration of faith. As an act of alignment, write below these words, peace within me. Write them not as a wish, but as a decree. You are declaring that your mind is no longer a war zone, but a sanctuary. You are speaking order into chaos, light into confusion, stillness into storms. Every time you say those words, heaven reinforces your walls and peace floods your atmosphere again. The war for your mind ends with surrender when you finally allow God to be the loudest voice inside you. That is when the chaos stops echoing. That is when rest returns. Your peace is your power. Guard it, nurture it, and never trade it for the noise of this world again. Chosen one, the air around you is beginning to shimmer. The trembling of the spirit you felt before has become a steady rhythm, like footsteps approaching from heaven's throne. You are standing at the threshold of fire. This is the place where the last impurities fall away, where destiny and refinement meet. Do not fear the fire. The flames that surround you are not sent to harm you, but to reveal what cannot burn. Fire is heaven's mirror. It shows what is eternal and what is temporary. Everything false will fall away, but everything true will shine brighter. You have walked through seasons of water, of wind, of waiting. But now comes the season of fire. Fire purifie. And purity always precedes promotion. The gold that heaven uses must first pass through heat. That is why you felt pressure pressing on all sides. It's not punishment, it's preparation. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 66, verse 10. For you, God, tested us. You refined us like silver. Chosen one. That is what's happening right now. You are being refined. Every disappointment, every unanswered prayer, every tear has been part of the melting process. God is removing what you no longer need: fear, doubt, bitterness, so that when you cross through the last door, you are light enough to soar. The fire that consumes your pain will become the same fire that lights your path. What felt like loss will soon glow as revelation. This is the mystery of heaven's craftsmanship. He forges his warriors in the very flames that others fear. Picture it this way: your soul is a blade. It was shaped in the quiet, hammered in the storms, and now it is being tempered in the fire. Each spark you see is not destruction, it's the sound of destiny being sharpened. Soon, you will emerge gleaming, unbreakable, reflecting the light of the one who formed you. You are not alone in this furnace. The same God who walked with the 3 Hebrew men in Babylon's fire walks with you now. Every flame that touches you loses its power to destroy. Instead, It becomes the heat that hardens your resolve and amplifies your glory. This is where many stop at the edge of the fire, afraid of the cost. But not you. You have already surrendered too much to turn back. You have already come too far to fear the glow. Heaven trusts you to walk through what others would run from. And while you stand in this moment of refining, allow me to speak to your heart with honesty. These words, this flow of messages that have reached you again and again, are not random. They are sparks meant to keep your inner fire alive. Behind every line poured out, here is prayer, time, and devotion, a vessel burning to keep heaven's light visible for you and for others who wander in the dark. If this flame has warmed your spirit, if these words have steadied your steps or reminded you of your worth, then help keep the fire burning. When you like, when you share, when you subscribe, you are not simply reacting, you are tending the flame. You are passing the torch forward so that someone else, lost in their own night, might see the light you now carry. And if you feel led, sow into this fire, donate, give, contribute as your heart guides you, not as obligation, but as participation. Every ember of support fuels another message, another voice of hope, another moment where a heart somewhere feels seen by heaven again. Think of it as adding oil to a lamp that refuses to die out. A small gesture, a click, a share. A seed can ripple like light through countless souls. You may never meet those touched by your act, but heaven records each spark. Every action taken in love becomes eternal flame in God's sight. Chosen one. The fire before you is holy. Let it refine not only your soul but your sense of purpose. You were not chosen just to endure the flame, you were chosen to carry it. You are becoming a living torch, burning with conviction, courage, and compassion. When others see you, they will not see the scars of what you've survived, they will see the shine of what you've become. Fire will no longer frighten you, it will follow you. Every step you take will leave a glow in its wake. So walk through. Radiant one. The heat you feel now is proof of your transformation. When the last spark fades, you will emerge pure, powerful, and ready for the unveiling that waits beyond this threshold. And as you go, keep this light alive, not just in yourself, but in others. Like, share, subscribe, give, be part of the flame that refuses to die. Because in a world drowning in shadows, every light matters. And you, chosen one, were made to shine. The air shifts again. Chosen one, the horizon begins to glow faintly, and you sense the hour approaching. November 1st draws near its pull, like gravity in your spirit. You have waited, obeyed, endured, and now the time of crossing is upon you. The last door stands ready. You can almost feel the pulse of divine power flowing from its frame. There is a sacred stillness before great movement. You stand within it now, breathing the thin air between promise and fulfillment. This is the threshold moment where faith must walk forward without visible proof. Heaven watches in silence, waiting for the movement of your foot, for the decision of your heart. Crossing this door will not look like a grand event. It will happen first within you. The door is not wood or stone, it is surrender. It is the moment when your spirit finally says, "Yes, Lord," no matter what it costs. That single agreement releases a wave of divine permission. When obedience and timing unite, creation itself bends to make a way. Chosen one. This is the moment for courage. You will not be pushed through. You must step. No angel will drag you. No sign will shout louder than the whisper already burning in your chest. You must decide. The next chapter waits on the other side, but heaven will not write it until you turn the handle. The prophet Isaiah recorded it beautifully. Chapter 43, verse 19. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. The new thing has already begun. The moment you believed, the soil of your reality started shifting. Paths you never saw before are forming under your feet. Provision is appearing in places once barren. What felt like wasteland is about to bloom again. But this door, this holy crossing, comes with weight. It demands that you leave behind what cannot enter fear. Resentment, the identity you built in survival. The version of you that carried pain cannot inherit the promise. You must walk through as the renewed self-heaven shaped in the fire. The door's light may feel overwhelming. It exposes every shadow within. Yet that is its mercy. Before you step through, it will show you what still clings that must be released. Do not turn away from that illumination. It is not judgment. It is preparation. Heaven never exposes to shame. It exposes to heal. Take a breath. Chosen one. Feel the energy rising in your chest. The trembling in your hands. That's not fear. It's recognition. Your spirit knows this threshold. It's the same energy that rushed through Moses before the sea split, through Mary before the Word became flesh, through every soul chosen to bridge what is human and what is holy. You might hear whispers of resistance, thoughts that say, "You're not ready," or "What if it fails?" Those are echoes of the old world trying to hold you back. The door itself calls your name, and the light on the other side responds only to courage. The moment you take that step, those voices will fade. When you walk through, it will feel like time folding in on itself. The past will lose its hold. The weight you carried for years will dissolve in an instant, replaced by clarity so sharp it feels like awakening from a long dream. Every scar will suddenly make sense. Every delay will reveal its purpose. Chosen one. When you cross over, you will not feel the same. Heaven will recalibrate your senses. Colors will seem brighter. Silence deeper. Presence thicker. You will notice grace in details, once invisible. That is what it feels like when heaven and earth touch inside a human soul. And when your foot touches the other side, something unseen will mark the moment. Angels will record it as covenant, heaven's confirmation that the old has passed away and the new has begun. From that day forward, you will walk not in search of purpose, but in fulfillment of it. You will speak with weight. You will move with ease. You will recognize that what once chased you no longer has permission to reach you. The crossing will change everything. Your prayers will carry fire. Your words will open doors for others. Your presence will shift atmospheres. The authority you carry will no longer be borrowed. It will be birthed. So stand before that radiant threshold without trembling. You were made for this moment. Every season, every battle, every heartbreak brought you here. The last door does not open to the perfect. It opens to the willing. You are ready. Chosen one. Step forward. Step through. The world on the other side is already waiting for you. Chosen one. Breathe in slowly. Do you feel it? The air has changed. The moment you stepped through the last door, the atmosphere around you shifted. What once resisted you now begins to respond to you. You have entered the realm of unveiling, the place where hidden things are brought to light, where what was promised becomes visible. You may not have noticed at first. It doesn't always arrive with thunder. Sometimes it comes softly, new peace settling in your chest, sudden understanding of past pain, a quiet joy that rises without reason. These are signs that you've crossed into revelation. The darkness that once surrounded you cannot comprehend the light that now burns within you. The unveiling begins not with what you do, but with what you see. For years, you looked through fog, through confusion, through the blur of unanswered questions. Now, heaven clears the lens. You start to perceive the purpose behind your pain, the pattern in your wilderness. Every trial begins to make sense, as if divine hands are connecting dots across your story, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old. The book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 22 declares, "He reveals deep and hidden things. He knows what lies in darkness, and light dwells with him." This unveiling is that very promise. God is revealing what was once veiled. The dreams that went dormant are stirring again, because now is their appointed hour. The gifts that once felt buried are rising like seeds breaking through soil. You are no longer being hidden. You are being displayed. And now, the cover is lifting. The assignments that once felt beyond you are being placed in your hands. People who once ignored you will now be drawn to you, not because of status, but because of the light of truth that radiates from you. That light is not your own. It is reflection, the glory of the one who has walked with you through every valley. This unveiling will also reveal your authority. You will begin to notice how your words carry new weight. You will speak peace into chaos and watch it still. You will pray once, and answers will manifest swiftly. It is not because you have become powerful, it is because heaven now flows through you, unhindered. The blockage has been removed. The last door has aligned you perfectly with divine current. Still, with every unveiling comes responsibility. The light that shines on you also exposes what remains unresolved within you. Do not fear this. It is grace. God reveals only to heal. When He brings something to the surface, an old wound, a hidden doubt, it is so that you can finally release it. Illumination without transformation is dangerous, and heaven loves you too much to allow that. You may also notice that some people begin to drift away again. Do not grieve that. The light reveals not only your path, but also their posture. Those who cannot walk with the unveiled version of you were never meant to. Let them go with peace. This next phase requires companions who recognize the calling, not the comfort. Chosen one. Lift your head. You are glowing with purpose now, even if the mirror doesn't show it. Heaven sees it clearly. You are walking in unveiled authority, the kind that does not shout but shifts. Wherever you go, the spiritual atmosphere will adjust. Your presence is permission for others to believe again. And in this sacred unveiling, heaven invites you to mark this moment, not with applause, not with noise, but with agreement, right below the number 555, the number of divine transformation and grace in motion. When you write it, you are not following superstition, you are declaring, I receive what heaven is revealing. I am ready for what comes next. The number becomes a symbol, a reminder that change is no longer ahead of you, it's within you. This act of faith seals your season. You are not waiting for revelation to come, it is already here. The light is in your words, your walk, your worship. The unveiling is not an event, it's a lifestyle. From this day on, you will see through spiritual eyes. You will recognize divine timing with ease. You will sense when heaven is speaking, even through ordinary things. Chosen one, the veil is gone. The mystery that once confused you now compels you. What was hidden is now your inheritance. You walk as one who carries revelation, not for pride, but for purpose. Let the light within you shine without fear. Heaven has chosen this exact moment to reveal what you truly are, a reflection of divine glory, unveiled for such a time as this. Chosen one. Look around you. Everything feels different now, doesn't it? The air seems to hum with new possibility. The heaviness that used to press upon your shoulders has lifted, and what once felt broken now feels like foundation. You are walking in the season of reversal. This is the moment when heaven begins to rewrite the story you thought was finished. What you lost, what was taken, what you mourned, none of it has disappeared. It has been stored. And now, heaven is opening the vault of restoration. The years you thought were wasted are about to yield fruit. The tears you cried in silence are returning as laughter. God's justice is not revenge, it is restoration. Where the enemy sowed destruction, heaven now plants redemption. Every betrayal that tried to kill your spirit has become the soil for blessing. Every no that shattered your plans has cleared space for divine yes. You are living proof that God never wastes pain. The prophet Joel recorded a promise for moments like this. Chapter 2, verse 25. I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten. That is what this season is about, reclaiming what time tried to steal. You are walking into divine repayment. But understand this, the restoration of heaven is never one for one. It is multiplied, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Heaven restores with interest. Look back at your life for a moment. Remember every heartbreak, every missed opportunity, every door that slammed shut. Those things were not endings, they were investments. Heaven took what broke you and turned it into currency for this moment. Now the accounts are being settled in your favor. For some, this reversal will manifest as relationships mended. For others, it will come as clarity of purpose, supernatural provision, or healing long delayed. However it arrives, you will know it by its peace. The blessings of heaven never come wrapped in chaos. They arrive quietly, but they carry eternity's weight. Chosen one. Do not mistake the gentleness of this season for weakness. Restoration often whispers, the loudest storms are over. What remains now is the calm rebuilding of your soul. God is putting pieces back together, but not as they were. He is arranging them into something new, something whole. The reversal is also internal. You will begin to feel faith where there used to be fear, boldness where there used to be hesitation, joy where there used to be exhaustion. The places that once held pain will now hold power. This is how heaven works. It takes ashes and makes art. The enemy hoped to bury you under disappointment, but God has turned that grave into a garden. Every root of sorrow has become a seed of strength. What you thought was over is only beginning. You have not missed your time. You are right on schedule for the turnaround written for you before the world began. There is something sacred about divine reversals. They humble and exalt at the same time. They remind you that grace, not effort, writes the truest victories. You will not need to strive to make this happen. You only need to remain aligned. Heaven restores without force. As restoration unfolds, remember to walk lightly. Do not boast about what returns. Simply testify of who restored it. The purpose of your reversal is not to prove people wrong, but to prove God faithful. Let gratitude be your response, not pride. You will notice people reappearing in your life, some to apologize, others to recognize the new you. Receive them with peace, but discern carefully. Not everyone returning is meant to stay. Some are simply witnesses, sent to see what grace has done. Chosen one. This is also the season of divine recompense. The energy you poured out for years without return is coming back, multiplied. The love you gave freely will find its way home. The opportunities that slipped through your fingers are circling back, refined. Even your name, the reputation that was once misunderstood, will be redeemed. Heaven is restoring not just things, but dignity. The shame that once clung to you is dissolving under light. You will no longer be remembered by your failures, but by your faith. The scars on your soul are no longer symbols of defeat. They are proof of resurrection. In this reversal, you are not merely receiving, you are also becoming. You are learning that the greatest gift of restoration is not the return of what was lost, but the renewal of who you are. The things being returned are confirmation, not completion. The real miracle is that you are standing stronger than before, with eyes that see differently and a heart that trusts deeper. Chosen one. This is your turning point. What was meant to end you has become the very fuel that launches you. What once felt like punishment now reveals itself as preparation. Heaven is writing your comeback, and every line glows with redemption. The story is not over. It has just been rewritten by grace. Chosen one. As the light of restoration begins to settle upon your life, something else awakens, a stirring in the spirit, a call deeper than personal promise. The unveiling was never only about you. Heaven does not anoint one for isolation, it anoints for assignment. And now, as the smoke of the old season clears, you begin to see others rising too, all around the world. Lights flicker in the darkness. The scattered sparks are finding one another. This is the gathering of the remnant. You were never meant to walk alone. Every chosen one carries a piece of heaven's design. And when those pieces come together, divine patterns form across the earth. What once felt like loneliness was really divine separation, a waiting place until the right ones could find you. Heaven does not rush alignment, it arranges it. You may not recognize them at first. The remnant rarely wears crowns of gold or carries titles. They are the quiet ones, the broken ones who refused to bow, the dreamers who held on to faith when the world mocked them for believing. They are warriors in disguise, souls who have been tempered like you in the fires of obscurity. The gathering is already underway. Heaven is weaving hearts across nations, binding purpose through prayer, uniting voices that carry the same frequency of truth. These connections are not random. Every conversation, every meeting, every stirring of recognition between souls is part of heaven's architecture. You are being placed into a living network of light. The prophet Ezekiel once saw dry bones scattered across a valley, disconnected, forgotten, lifeless. Then the voice of God spoke, and the bones began to move toward each other. Sinews formed, flesh covered them, and breath entered them again. So it is with the remnant. The same breath that revived those bones now breathes across generations, pulling the scattered back into formation, as was written in the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 25. Let us not give up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching. No, this is that day. You are part of a gathering unlike any before. It is not built on platforms or institutions. It is built on obedience. The remnant does not gather around fame. It gathers around fire. The same flame that burns in your spirit burns in theirs. And when these flames unite, darkness cannot stand. This gathering is not about comfort. It is about commission. The remnant is rising not to escape the world, but to illuminate it. You are being positioned to build, to speak, to heal, to intercede, to lead by example. The call of the remnant is not noise, it is resonance. When you move together, heaven vibrates through you. But understand this, unity does not mean uniformity. Each carries a different expression of the same truth. One will speak, another will serve, another will pray in silence. Together, you form the living body of light that the earth desperately needs. Do not compare your flame to another's. Simply burn faithfully in your lane. The enemy fears this gathering more than any army on earth, because it cannot be controlled. It is not organized by man, but orchestrated by spirit. You cannot destroy what is rooted in divine connection. When the remnant stands as one, principalities tremble. This season will reveal surprising alliances, people you least expected becoming vital parts of your mission. Heaven is rearranging relationships, connecting what was once scattered. Those who carry the same assignment will recognize each other not by sight, but by fire. And you, chosen one, will become a bridge between some of them. You will link hearts, open doors, and speak life into those who have forgotten their identity. You will remind them that they are not abandoned fragments, but essential threads in a divine tapestry. As the remnant unites, the sound of awakening will grow louder. It will spread through art, through prayer, through kindness, through justice, through love that refuses to die. The earth will feel it before it sees it, a vibration of redemption, a pulse of purpose returning. You will look back one day and realize that every trial, every tear, every lonely night prepared you for this collective rising. You were never fighting for survival. You were training for leadership. The gathering of the remnant is heaven's final preparation for global renewal. Chosen one, do not underestimate what is being formed. You are part of a divine constellation, a network of souls who will light the darkest skies. You were never alone in your calling. You were simply waiting for your tribe to arrive. And now, they are here. Chosen one. Heaven watches with pride as you stand in the company of the awakened. The remnant has gathered, and now the crown awaits. You have endured storms, carried fire, and crossed the final door. This is the moment when heaven places upon your head the symbol of victory, the crown and the commission. But understand this, the crown is not jewelry, it is weight. It is not about prestige, but purpose. When heaven crowns you, it entrusts you with responsibility to speak light into dark places, to lift others as you rise, to live as evidence that obedience births glory. You are no longer a wanderer, you are a messenger, as the Apostle Paul wrote to his disciple, Timothy, in the second letter, chapter 4, verse 7 through 8. I have fought the good fight, finished the race, kept faith. Now awaits for me the crown of righteousness. The Lord will award, chosen one. Heaven is commissioning you now. You are being sent as light into lands dimmed by despair. Your words will no longer be mere sound, they will become seed. When you speak, hearts will awaken. When you pray, doors will open. When you act in love, heaven will echo through your touch. Do not imagine this commission as grand and distant. It begins right where you stand, in the way you treat the people near you, in the way you forgive, in the way you show mercy when the world chooses pride. Every small act of obedience is royal service in disguise. You are a crown bearer now, but crowns require care. You must guard it with humility, polish it with prayer, and wear it with compassion. Pride will try to tilt it, comparison will try to dull it, distraction will try to steal it. Yet remember, the crown fits only the bowed head. Stay surrender, and no power on earth can remove it. Chosen one. This message that finds you here is more than sound and script. It is a stream of living water. Behind every word shared, there has been prayer, dedication, and unseen labor. Every syllable poured out has cost time, focus, and faith, so that you might receive truth that strengthens your walk. If these words have spoken life to you, if they have helped you see your worth, find direction, or simply breathe again, then help the river flow further. When you like, you are echoing heaven's amen. When you share, you become a messenger yourself, carrying the flame to souls still wandering in the dark. When you subscribe, you anchor yourself to this flow of revelation, so you won't drift when the noise of the world grows loud again. And if your spirit feels led to donate, to give, to sow, know that you are not funding a screen, you are fueling a sanctuary. Every gift becomes oil that keeps the lamp burning. Every offering ensures that another heart will hear that they are not forgotten, not broken beyond repair, not alone in their waiting. Think of this space as a garden of light. Comment. Each act of support is a seed dropped into fertile soil. Together we tend the field, watering it with honesty, pruning it with prayer, and watching miracles bloom in places we may never physically see. So, chosen one, when you finish reading these words, take a quiet moment to leave your reflection below. Write from your heart your gratitude, your revelation, your own testimony. Your comment is not just text, it's a ripple in the spirit, a signal to heaven that transformation has taken root. Someone who reads your words later might find strength because you dared to share. You see, this movement isn't about one voice, it's about many hearts beating in rhythm with the divine. Every like, share, subscription, and donation becomes part of that rhythm, forming a symphony of light across the world. You wear the crown now, chosen one, not as decoration, but as declaration. You are the living proof that endurance births glory. The crown does not glitter for vanity, it shines, so others may find the path you once walked in darkness. Carry it with gentleness, Let humility be your gold. Let kindness be your jewels. Every day you walk in love, the crown gleams a little brighter, reflecting heaven itself. So walk forward, crowned and commissioned, knowing that your obedience has unlocked the purpose you were born for. And when you speak, may your words be like oil, healing, comforting, and igniting others to rise with you. Now go live as the crowned one who remembers where the fire began. Chosen one. The air feels clearer now. The weight of the crown rests lightly upon your head, not as a burden, but as balance. You have stepped into a new realm, the realm of authority. This is where faith matures into command, where you no longer merely pray for change, you become the instrument through which heaven enacts it. The days of surviving are behind you. Now, you live to establish. The whispers you once followed have become the words you now speak with conviction. Heaven trusts your voice because it has been purified in surrender. What you declare carries weight. What you bind or loose echoes through realms. But do not misunderstand. Chosen, one authority is not arrogance. It is not the loudness of one's tone, but the clarity of one's alignment. True authority flows only from humility. You are powerful, precisely because you remain bowed. The throne of heaven lends its authority only to those who kneel beneath it. In this new realm, your very presence shifts atmospheres. Rooms will quiet when you enter, not from intimidation, but recognition. The spirit within you radiates stability, peace, and purpose. You carry the fragrance of heaven, and the world can sense it. That is why opposition will still appear, but now it will fear you more than you fear it. As the Apostle Luke recorded in his Gospel, chapter 10, verse 19, I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions, overcome all the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you. Chosen one. The first place your authority must reign is within yourself. Command your mind into peace, your heart into forgiveness, your will into obedience. Before you speak to mountains, learn to speak to your own spirit. The one who governs inwardly governs outwardly. Every decision you make now carries multiplied consequence. Authority amplifies everything, both wisdom and folly. So walk carefully, not fearfully. Every moment becomes sacred when heaven has entrusted you with influence. This new realm also changes your prayers. You will find yourself praying less for rescue and more for revelation. You will no longer beg for answers, you will release them. Because authority does not plead, it partners. You will learn to say, Father, let it be, and heaven will answer. It already is. And when you intercede for others, you will feel the surge of heaven flowing through your words. Pain will lift, peace will descend, and the unseen will bend to divine order. That is what it means to rule in the Spirit, to carry the presence of God so fully that darkness cannot coexist near you. Be mindful, however, that power attracts both purpose and pressure. As your light grows stronger, opposition will attempt to find your weakness. But fear not, heaven's armor covers you fully. Authority is not absence of warfare, it is assurance of victory. You no longer fight for triumph, you fight from it. The world around you will begin to respond differently. People will seek counsel, drawn by something they cannot name. Some will come to test you, others will come to receive from you. Treat both with grace. Authority must never become cruelty. The same power that commands storms must also comfort the wounded. You will also feel heaven nudging you toward greater responsibility, dreams larger than logic, projects that feel too heavy for one soul, but you were never meant to carry them alone. Authority multiplies through partnership. Heaven will send those whose spirits harmonize with yours, forming alliances rooted not in ambition, but in assignment. And yet, never forget, authority without intimacy becomes empty. Keep returning to the quiet place. Let stillness remain your sanctuary. Speak less to men and more to God. The more authority you gain, the deeper you must dwell in dependence. The higher you ascend, the lower you must bow. Chosen one. You are no longer a wanderer. You are a ruler under divine commission. When you walk, walk with quiet confidence. When you speak, let wisdom drip like honey from your lips. When you act, let compassion guide your strength. You are heaven's ambassador, not heaven's replacement. Every word you release must sound like the one who sent you. Every action must echo love. This is how the world will recognize your authority, not by your might, but by your mercy. The realm you have entered is not a reward, it is a responsibility. You were not crowned to conquer people, but to conquer darkness. Your authority exists for healing, for building, for restoring balance to the world around you. Walk in it boldly. Chosen one. The world needs what you now carry. You are a voice of order in a world of confusion, a bearer of calm in a time of storms. Stand firm, speak life, and move in love. Chosen one. The winds have quieted. The fire that once burned around you now burns within you. The journey that began in trembling ends here in stillness and awe. You have crossed the doors, endured the trials, worn the crown, and carried the light. What remains now is understanding. This is the eternal echo, the moment when all that you have lived through begins to make sense. You look back and realize that none of it was wasted. Every tear was a seed. Every night of silence was an incubation of power. The wilderness you once feared became the womb that birthed your purpose. You thought you were wandering, but heaven was weaving. The map of your destiny was never drawn in straight lines. It was drawn in divine spirals, each loop bringing you closer to yourself, closer to God, closer to truth. Chosen one. You are standing in the aftermath of transformation. The storms have passed, yet you carry their lessons in your bones. You no longer flinch at thunder because you've learned that even storms obey divine rhythm. You no longer fear endings because you've seen how every ending hides a beginning in its ashes. You have become fluent in the language of heaven. As the Apostle John wrote in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 12, "The one who is victorious, I will make a pillar in the temple of my God. Never again will they leave it. I will write on them the name of my God and the name of the city of my God." And you are that pillar now, steady, immovable, marked with the name of divine purpose. You no longer chase belonging because you are belonging. The dwelling of God is no longer distant. It lives within you. Everywhere you walk, heaven finds expression. Do you feel it? Chosen one, the stillness inside is not emptiness, it's completion. What once was fragmented has become whole. The pieces of your soul that were scattered across seasons are now gathered, fitted together into divine symmetry. You are not who you were at the beginning of this story. You have been refined into something heaven can trust, with legacy. Legacy, that is what this final season is about. The journey was never only for your deliverance, it was for your descendants, both spiritual and physical. The fire you carried will light paths for those who come after you. The truths you've lived will become foundations beneath other feet. This is what it means to be chosen, not to be elevated, but to become eternal echo. You will begin to notice that your influence no longer depends on proximity. Your words, your presence, even your silence will move beyond boundaries. Heaven's resonance in you will reach hearts you've never met, nations you've never seen. That is the nature of divine legacy. It transcends time and place. But remember, chosen one. Legacy is not built in grand gestures. It's carved through daily faithfulness. In every choice to forgive, to love, to stand when it would be easier to fall. Heaven writes another line of your eternal echo. Your endurance has become testimony. Your healing has become map. Your transformation has become manual for the broken who will walk the same path one day. There will come a moment when you look upon your life and see the fingerprints of God in every place you thought He was absent. You will smile at the memory of pain, not because it didn't hurt, but because now you understand what it produced. You will bless the storms that once terrified you because they taught you how to command peace. You will thank the waiting because it taught you how to hear. Chosen one, your story no longer belongs only to you. It belongs to heaven's archive. Every trial, every triumph, every whisper of faith has been recorded. Your obedience has become part of the symphony of redemption playing across generations. You are one note in the great song of eternity. Yet, without your sound, the melody would be incomplete. You have fulfilled your part of the journey. But this is not an ending. It is continuation in stillness. The door that opened on November 1st was never the last in existence. It was the last for awakening. Beyond it lies living, leading, and leaving legacy. You are now the keeper of a flame meant to endure until time folds into eternity. Walk gently. Chosen one. The world you re-enter after the refining fire will not look the same because you are not the same. Carry peace as your robe, wisdom as your crown, and compassion as your weapon. Live in such a way that heaven recognizes its reflection in your humanity. You have become what you were always meant to be, a bridge between divine and dust, a living echo of eternal love. This is your completion. This is your calling. This is your forever. Chosen one. If you have reached this moment, then you have walked the entire journey through silence, fire, and revelation. What you carry now is not just understanding, but transformation. You have been reminded that destiny is real, that faith still works, and that light always wins. This message found you for a reason, and now you are part of its living echo. If the words along this path have spoken to your soul, let your heart respond. When you like, you do more than click. You agree with heaven's truth. When you share, you become a messenger of light, passing the flame to someone still lost in their night. When you subscribe, you stay connected to the current of revelation that continues to flow. And when you comment, let your words be your testimony. Write what stirred you, what healed you, what line made you breathe again. Your story will become the spark that awakens another chosen one. So, stand tall, radiant soul. The last door has opened, and your purpose has begun to unfold. Let us keep walking together in faith, in fire, and in love.